But such people will have trouble in this life, and I'm trying to spare you. And I say this, brothers, the time is limited. So from now on, those who have wives should be as though they had none. Those who weep as though they did not weep. Those who rejoice as though they did not rejoice. Those who buy as though they did not possess. And those who use the world as though they did not make full use of it. For this world in its current form is passing away. I want you to be without concerns. An unmarried man is concerned about the things of the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But a married man is concerned about the things of the world, how he may please his wife. And he is divided. An unmarried woman or a virgin is concerned about the things of the Lord, so that she may be holy, both in body and in spirit. But a married woman is concerned about the things of the world, how she may please her husband. Now I'm saying this for your own benefit, not to put a restraint on you, but because of what is proper, and so that you may be devoted to the Lord without distraction. So this morning, as we come into this singles edition, I want to invite Roger and Dr. Roger and Emma to just come. We're going to be having some conversation here, even from that scripture, just talking about what we experience and some of the things that we need to learn and to rejoice about, even as we celebrate the singles in the house. Valentine is just passed this past week. You can see me in my red shirt. I don't know how do you people feel during this season of Valentine?
For me, it's just a day like any other day. I wish somebody wrote me a message of love, but unfortunately, I've grown to understand that it is not coming. It's not coming. So I've accepted that.
If I say it's a day like any other day, I'll be challenging what I think I want to feel for that particular day. But we also hope that even your sister, not just a boyfriend, even your sister or your brother or your friend would just say, hi, I just wanted to say that I love you. So yeah, there's something at the back of your mind that kind of expects. It doesn't have to be from a gentleman, but just from anyone. As a woman, that someone really appreciates you on that particular day. As much as you know that love is every day, but you want that particular day to feel kind of a bit different. Yes.
But we expect it from somebody special. You know, my brother and sisters love me, but I want it from somebody special.
Okay, good. Yeah, you want it from somebody special. And so in this season, and I think even like Christmas, during Christmas holidays, and probably during weddings, you know, the reminder that that somebody special is not there. It's always constantly being thrown at you as single people. So what does that make you feel?
I think Percy, just because as Doctor has said, because he in his mind that special person is not yet there. I don't know whether you live kind of like a 50-50, hoping the fact that one day it could happen, and because it has not happened, that's why you get the consolation of Jane will send me a text, you know, or Roger will send a text as a brother. But since it's not there, you live to remind yourself what love is, and if you love yourself, you remind yourself, okay, I'm here. This is what is happening. God is with me. He's got me. Yes.
Anything you want to add to that, Roger? I think that's a very important thing, yeah, just to be reminded about God's love for you.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing, God's love for us. And it gives us hope that one day, someday, we shall remember. We shall remember God's faithfulness in our lives.
So are there some disadvantages of being single?
Can we first talk about the advantages?
Okay, let's start the positive. Yes, there are benefits, there are advantages of being single. So let's talk about the advantages, then we can talk about the disadvantages.
I think we love it when it's a sandwich, when you have the best thing, then you come to the bitter, and then you end up with the best.
Yeah.
I think the fact that I can get to my house whatever time I want, Man, today morning I got to the house at 1. I'd come from Namanga. And I just knocked it and I went out and I slept. And I'm thinking, if I were married, I would be sending text, tuko Isinya, tumefika Kitengela, sasa ndio basi imeondoka, we have a stop. So I think singleness has its pros. There's that freedom that you've got to choose what you want per se. That you don't have limitations. If I called you and let's go for a night out or let's do coffee, it's open. Sorry, I'm using Jane because most of the time we do that with Jane. So there are those advantages of having to have your own free will. Yes.
For me, just that freedom, like in my house, I can know that when I go to the house, if I want to watch this channel, I will watch it and not dispute with anybody else. It gives me that freedom. And then the other freedom that I have is just the freedom to travel anywhere I want at any time, and if I'm not able to go home, I just not go home and not have repercussions of why did you go home. And just the trouble that you first had that you said, I don't have trouble. My brothers and sisters have a lot of trouble until I wonder in their marriages. Yeah, so I don't have trouble. I can manage my finances solely. So I think there are so many advantages in terms of that. Yeah. And even most importantly, that I can even get time if I wanted to pray, that I don't have any distractions. Yeah.
So obviously we are seeing that there are advantages of being single, just like the advantages of being married. So often we make people who are single look like they are missing something in life. But definitely, what I'm hearing, that freedom, Mochene can attest to this. One of the things that you do when you get married, you lose some of these freedoms that you previously had. You can't just up and go. You can't just decide to So that freedom, there is the independence that you have, that you don't have to consult. If you like something and you want to do something, then you can just do that. And so that's a season in life that I believe is very, very important that we enjoy. So there are definitely advantages in being single. Not to say that there are no advantages in being married. So there are definitely a lot of advantages also in being married. So everything has got advantages and disadvantages. And so what are some of the disadvantages of being a single person?
Percy, this thing is real. So real because today morning I realized I wanted to be here early. So I'd spoken to a friend of mine and we weren't able to come at the same time. So I decided, let me do Uber because I need to be here early. So as I'm picking the Uber, a lady friend of my mom's is going to church, so I decided, let me just give her a ride. So we get in, I'm like, umeacha mama wapi? I'm like, we don't fellowship the same church, but she's coming, she's planning to come. And mbona unaenda mapema kanisa? I'm like, no, we have a singles thing and I'm kind of late in the service. It's like, yeah, so what are you going to talk about? I'm like, being single and loving God in your singleness. Yes, lakini pia pata mtoto. Lord, it doesn't have to be this beginning. So some of the disadvantages is that people feel like, in as much as you're single, those probably who they know the Lord, yes, but it's still in the back of their mind. It's like you need to leave a legacy. So there's that pressure. Emma pata mtoto. At least go to someone where you can see someone. There's a pressure of your family, there's a pressure of your age is catching up with you. There's a heat rush, you know?
Yeah.
And you start thinking, hey, heat rush,
Yeah.
My goodness. Sasa tukianza koti ni tuanza stories of heat rush. What's happening with you? So there's that disadvantage of pressure from family, pressure from your friends who are already married. Yeah, there's that pressure.
For me, one thing I know is food. You know, me, I come from Western. The food that, as a single person, you eat, maze, hey, God help us. It is not good. I know when I get a wife or something, she will be preparing food, and that is something that I really can't wait for. Another thing is that as a man, people think that you are stingy. You're stingy, you are a man, there are so many girls around you. Why are you not taking any of them? What is wrong with you? You look like you're stingy, or some other guys think like you're playing on the other field. You are a gay person, you cannot perform. So it's you, every time you are somewhere around people, the first question that they'll ask you is, bado japata. So you feel uncomfortable every time. For me, I avoid some places because I know the first question when we meet is bado ama huyu msichana enda ongea na yeye mchukue. So yeah, so those are some of the disadvantages that I have. Of course, even what Emma said is kama umeshindwa kupata bibi, tafuta mtoto, tutakulelea mtoto. So yeah, so those are some of the disadvantages that come. Yeah, so they don't understand how you can be single and be pure sexually. Yeah, it is difficult for them to fathom. So they lay on you all the problems that they have. Then also your brothers and sisters think, and everybody else thinks that you have all the money in the world.
Yes.
Yeah, so if they want money, enda kwa Roger atakupatia. Yeah, so
I think Percy also, they always think that you have the time at their beck and call. And not in a bad way, but they think because you're single, you're the one to represent their family here, you're the one to do this because then they're married. So pressure comes because they think you have nothing else to do. So sometimes if you don't understand yourself well, a little bit you may feel used. But the people who really love you, because then they think since you're single, you're available for every other thing. So there are those disadvantages.
Yeah, and I know because I know people who, all the responsibility of taking care of their parents is thrown now to the single because they think, well, there's nobody you're responsible for, so you take care of mom there. And so sometimes that can also tie you because as a man, when you start thinking, how can I leave my mother and now start looking for somebody to take care of, that can be a challenge.
True.
But again, I think I hear what Roger is saying about, we sometimes are suspicious of you people saying, how are you managing your sexuality if you're a single person and are you sure you're not going here and there? So how have you managed yourselves even as singles, and who have been singles for a while in that area? And we live in an environment where it's so, everything is being thrown at us.
It's not easy, it's real, it happens that sometimes you feel you really want that man. But again, also surrounding yourself with people of the same, I wouldn't say status, because we're trusting God one day the status will change, but people who are going through the same thing. Sometimes I may call a girlfriend, I'm like, this is the week. So would laugh at it, but the best thing is she will still check on you. So how are you doing, what's happening? I don't want to mention names, but I also have friends who are really good at, you need to eat this at this particular time. Jane is very keen on, what are you doing? You need to check on this, you need to. So it kind of helps you adapt to that particular time. And just surrounding yourself with people who are probably positive and help you to see the benefit of things. So I think that has been for me, being able to surround yourself with people who you are vulnerable to tell them the truth, akanikale kawiki. Then probably they'll stand with you in prayer, we'll laugh at it. Sometimes you make a joke in as much as you're born again. So the week is gonna pass. If that last week passed, this week is gonna pass. So that has really helped us to go on. Yes.
Thank you, Emma. I'm hearing the community and being accountable to somebody and people who can help you and who have shared the same values, and you being vulnerable with them is very, very key, even to manage those things, because they are real. They are real. They are real issues that real people are dealing with. Maybe just to, again, moving on from there is, and again, you talked about pressure. There's pressure from parents, there's pressure from society. Do you sometimes also feel pressure, Roger, from the church? Being single?
I used to, but now I don't. The kind of used to me now, kind of used to me. But just to mention what you had mentioned about the purity, the friend downstairs anashangaa, vipi rada? Rada vipi? Anasema nimechoka, bila kungoja tu, kisha kuwa tayari wewe utajipanga. So for me, it's just to try to watch what you watch, to try and watch what you hear, so that you are not involved in that space of sexuality about.
Thank you so much. Now being a senior single, let me use that word. Do you sometimes, Emma, najua zamani zile, there could have been people who walikukatia, they wanted to marry you, but probably ukasema no, and now you're looking, you may be looking back and probably wishing, ama ningesema ndio pale, ama ningesema, did I miss God? Did I should maybe have said yes to that place? And for you, Roger, maybe you're in a relationship as a man and it broke, and not because of the other person. Maybe you just felt this is not the person, and you broke off the relationship. Do you sometimes have regrets that probably I should have continued, or I should have said yes, Emma, to that person?
Oh, pasi akina hit leo. There are those times when I was young. There are those regrets that come, but there are times when I was asked when I was very young. I think I was 26, and by that time I just come off of a relationship. So I wasn't subconsciously healed. So fear was still creeping in me. But that person was born again, and I said no. And this person is a very good friend of mine. They got married, church wedding. I went to the wedding. I'm like, Steve, me not get baby, Steve. There are those things that run through your mind. But again, you also have times when people have hit on you, and you're like, my goodness, thank God I didn't say yes. So we have those regrets, and it's what helps me is to reflect back and remind myself what God has for me for now. Because God is not concerned with me with my past failures. What He's concerned with is what am I doing right now and what is ahead of me. So His love has been, for me, His love has been what is keeping me. That, because sometimes not even men, even girlfriends fail you, but what reminds me is who He is to me. So yes, there have been places when I've felt, up and Pambao, there have been places where I felt, no, this one, it was good for me that I said no. Yeah, so we have those moments. I have those moments.
Well, even for me, I have those moments. I remember when I was just finishing college, I had a girlfriend that we were together. She actually we were actually supposed to get married. So the plan, because the plan was she wanted us to go to, she came from Nigeria, her father came from Nigeria. So she said, she was asking if I could go with her to Nigeria and stay there with her and live there. But I found it very, very, very difficult to go and stay in my father-in-law's house. So, and then back at home at that time, my dad had died, and I believe they were waiting for me as the firstborn to come and start taking care of them, isn't it? So I thought maybe for me the best thing was to go back home and finish and do my exams, and then after that I would invite her to come, isn't it? But that process didn't take as long. It took very long, and because of time. But those are some of the regrets. I sometimes wonder if what would have happened if I went to Nigeria, isn't it? But at the same time, I thank God that I allowed myself to come back home, because back home they really, really needed me. There was a dire situation, and I'm grateful that I came back home. We still communicate. Even her, she got married. She has 2 children. She now lives in Germany, but
Yeah, and you see, life is that way. So sometimes we may think we missed opportunities, but really God is the one who knows everything. Yeah, God is the one who knows, and who knows, probably you will have gotten married and been miserable. and not being how you are to that person, and not being who you are today, or happy as you are today. So sometimes some of these things we cannot really know the full, we don't have the full picture. So I've learned in my own life, because there are choices I've made, and sometimes I look back, should I have left or not left to that place, to that organization. And so there could be those regrets, but again, looking at the present and seeing what God is doing, you know that there's no mistake. God does not, He's a God of a second chance,
Yes.
and a third chance, and a fourth chance, and other chances will come.
Yes.
So as we move forward, how can the church then minister to singles? What can we do to, you know, I know I've been to many churches. There's a ministry for children, there's ministry for the youth, there's a focus on the married and family. But these people who are normally left hanging there. So how can the church really minister to the singles in a way that is very, very meaningful and effective to you?
What I would say, for us, for us as a church, I don't think it will make sense to have a ministry for singles. But I think because when we are singles here and we have an event that we probably need to go, maybe they think that we need
to... Where your people are relaxed and they can engage and get to know each other and meet, and who knows what can happen from there. So why is it that why is it that men don't show up in some of these places?
I think it's because us men are practical in nature, and because of these meetings that are there, including even the marriage meetings, it looks like for every meeting that we go where it talks about relationship, we seem to be being attacked. You understand? We are the ones being attacked, isn't it? That we don't understand this marriage thing. So most of us shy away from it because of such things. And you remember the primary goal of a man is respect. So when you attack him, he doesn't feel respected. He feels like you're looking down upon him. So I think that is why many men are not being involved in marriages. If the environment is a safe place for them to be who they are, because most of these things are making us look like girlfriends instead of men. And we are men, and we have our own way of thinking, our own way of doing things, which is unique, and it is God ordained.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing you say, Roger, is as men, sometimes you felt attacked. There's this respect thing. Again, I think these events probably are tailored to favor or meet the needs of the ladies, but maybe not the men. So we need to look at practical ways in which men can be involved, and maybe organize hikes, maybe organize things that will involve both genders, and in the process, people interact, and there's nothing wrong. We have to begin from a place where people can interact, friendships can be developed, and it's from those interactions and friendships probably people can see each other, and one thing will lead to another.
Yes.
So I think that's one of the things that I'm taking out from all this. Let's encourage those kind of things, so that we may continue moving on. But again, I like what Roger you say. There's hope. Age is just but a number. It doesn't matter where you've gotten to. If the desire is still there, I believe God can grant us the desires of our hearts.
Percy, I think I need to say something that is just said, that he said that men may feel not respected. Then that means there's something that when men are brought together with ladies in such forums, if the men feel they may not be or attacked, it means there's something at the back of them that makes them think so. So for me, I would suggest, even before the mixture, I think the men need to go and be vulnerable. Because if you're seated with ladies and you feel these people, they're asking me why haven't I done what I'm supposed to do as a man, then there's something that we need to tackle as a man and find out, why haven't you done this, and what makes you feel that when we ask you, what makes you feel when I ask you this, I'm attacking you. Because then when you meet that need, it helps the man to understand, it's not that I'm being attacked, it's that there's a way it would be better for me. depending on the person. There are those who are not called to get married. But to those who are married, there's a way to make them feel better once they cross that. So when the men are met and they have a vulnerable space, then they become holistic people and to understand that when they are 10 and they are, in fact, Pasi, that forum is good. 10 and 30, you go 500 and they are 10. So building that man holistically, he becomes better to understand, to move on to the next. So I think also creating that men forum will help them become better people and have the courage to. Yeah.
Thank you. So that again falls under empowerment. So we need also to empower the men, not to fear these empowered ladies. The ladies that become very empowered, the men should be encouraged so that they can be able to overcome the fear, to know what the women want. And so I think in that process, helping them to build that confidence without bashing them, without making them feel less of a person, will be useful to helping this.